most important hour of Trisha starts now. Today, we're exposing the ugly truth about teen bullying. Now, Latoya says she's all too familiar with this controversial issue. Her 14-year-old son, Rob, was beaten, bullied and tormented for years because of his looks. It became so bad, Rob would hide in his room or under a hoodie. Rob's mother and father are black, but as you can see, Rob appears to be white. Yeah. He was born with albinism. Now, he has no skin pigment, poor vision, and he can't even tolerate the sunshine. But perhaps, worst of all, it made him easy prey for bullies. Let's listen to Latoya's story.
Since the day my son was born, he was always treated differently. I was 14 years old when I got pregnant with Rodarius. When I had him, he was a white baby with blue eyes, blonde hair. I looked at him as normal, but the rest of the world didn't see him how I saw him. I didn't know what had happened, but I knew he was my baby, and that all that mattered. I didn't care. Albinism is a skin condition which affects the hair, the skin, and the eyes. As a toddler, Rodarius was always a friendly kid, but kids always treated him like a monster. They screamed, they ran away from him. Their mothers never explained to their child what was going on, so Rodarius pretty much never had any friends. As he got older, that's when the name calling started. Monster, Powder, Casper, White Boy. When he got angry and lashed back out, the teachers would blame him. Rodarius was 7 years old when I got a call from his school saying that there was an emergency and to get there quick. And I immediately think the worst. When I walked into the school, it was cops in the hallway, the principal, and my son's teacher. And they told me that my baby was threatening to take his own life. What's wrong with the world that would make a child feel that he shouldn't be here? I held my son and I told him that he was beautiful and he was gonna be somebody, that he was here for a reason. I'm proud of my son. I want the world to know how beautiful he is on the inside and on the outside, that he is just like everybody else.
What did they say was wrong with him?
They told me that Rob had albinism, which affects his hair, his skin, and his eyes.
So you've got this little baby, and you're in an urban area with this little, inverted commas, white baby. What kind of reactions did you get?
I got the name calling, the stares.
When he was a baby?
Yes.
Rob starts school. Were you scared?
I was very emotional.
What were kids doing? What were they saying?
They was calling him names. They were calling him Casper, Powder, and saying that he was ugly.
You found something that has gotten him through this.
Yes. Rodarius used to listen to Eminem like over and over and over. So I was at home and we have a studio inside the home. So I brought him in and I was like, son, do you want to rap? He was like, sure, why not? So he started freestyling.
It's the first time I've seen you smile during all of this, so I can see how much joy it brought to you.
Yeah.
So let's meet him. We should meet him. Well, I think it's time we meet him, huh? Okay, let's meet your son, Rob. Come on out, Rob.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. How much can you remember? Can you remember when you were a little kid and you first realized that maybe you were different from other kids?
Of course. When I went to school, you know, there are the blacks, there are the whites, there are the Latinos, you know. Everyone had their own group of people that they, you know, sat around and hung out with. So, first, my mom's black, my dad's black. I was like, let's go to the blacks, you know?
Yeah.
And so, they're like, whoa, like, dude, what are you doing here? And I'm like, fitting in, you know, what do you think?
Yeah.
So after they didn't accept me, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna just go to the whites then. And I was like, okay, we got the same skin color. I know I gotta fit in with you guys.
Yeah.
And they were like, no. I was like, okay.
And then the names, your mum was saying the names started coming.
Casper, Powder, you know, the white boy. Some even called me Cocaine.
But we're not talking about curiosity and once or twice. Was this like day in, day out?
It was constantly. It was day after day after day. And
Physical
it seems,
too?
Yeah. It started off with the name calling.
Right.
And then it came to the shoving and the pushing. And the next thing you know, you're getting hit, pushed, jumped in restrooms, stuff like that. I'd have to duck and dodge throughout people just to get away.
What was your lowest point?
There was one day where I woke up and things got worse and worse, and I was constantly thinking about it, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
You didn't actually try to do anything, though, did you?
Actually, there was a moment, and actually, Mom, you don't know this, but back when I would go into my room, I'd always had some type of a sharp object under my bed where I would think about it. I'd have it, and I was like, I would just never get the strength to do it, and I'd just go to sleep.
Wow, you didn't know about that, Latoya?
No.
So you're a survivor in the true sense of the word.
Yeah.
Then your mum says you identified with Eminem.
Eminem, I felt like I could connect with him. He was a white kid in a black neighborhood. He got jumped. I got jumped. He got beat up at school. I got beat up at school. I was like, yeah, this is the guy.
Yeah, he makes sense. So, I hear you found music. You have this alter ego called...
Robin X.
Who is Robin X? Your alter...
Robin X is my personal hero. Robin is intelligent.
Yep.
And he has, you know, this sense about him, this swag, and the way he handles himself. You know, he's strong, he's passionate, he can go through anything.
Yeah.
And come out a survivor.
I'd say that. So, what do you want to say to those people who bullied you? Because they'll probably be watching now.
In life, what you go through in the past makes you who you are today. So, with that being said, I really appreciate what you put me through. Not saying that I want to go through it again, but thank you so much, because without you, I wouldn't be me.
Thank you. Wow. It's not often that this audience gets on their feet like that. You're a remarkable young man. I keep reminding myself you are just 14. Wow. And I want to thank you and your mom for sharing a story. I know even remembering all of those things are really, really difficult, but I think it really illustrates to those parents out there who just say, it's just kids being kids. Those kids just being kids, taking it too far, can make a remarkable young man like this want to end it all. And I think that's something we need to look at for our kids doing it to other kids. Now, we've got something special planned for you later, so I want you to both stay with us, and we'll be back later. It's been reported that nearly half of all teens are bullied because of their looks. Now, with that in mind, take a look at Michaela and Madison. These 12-year-old identical twins are alike in every way but one. The difference is in their feet. Now, Michaela was born with a rare disorder that caused her feet to grow 10 sizes larger than normal. Her mom, Samantha, says this condition has made Michaela an easy target for vicious bullies. Listen to her story.
Madison was born first, and I looked at her fingers and toes like, you know, you do, just to check out, make sure everything is all good. And then I seen Michaela also, all her fingers, toes, everything were there, but her feet were really big. And I kept asking the doctors, why are her feet really big? The doctors told me it was called macrodystrophia lipomatosa congenita. And what it means is that she was born with large, abnormal shaped feet caused from fat tissue. The hardest part is, you know, when she was younger, the look on her face. When she would see people staring and pointing, I could see the pain in her face. You know, it was like she was looking at me like I was supposed to do something, and I'm just like, what do I do? I just want people to treat Michaela like any other child. Don't look or point or stare, because she's got 5 toes. She can walk, she can run, she can jump, she can do cartwheels, she can do anything that anybody with normal sized feet can do. Her feet are just a little bit bigger than what they should be. I don't think that anybody else could really deal with it as good as she has, honestly.
Wow, Samantha. So, you know, we love our children for just who they are. But when there's that point, isn't there, when you go out with them as a baby and you start seeing people's reactions to them. Can you remember that when she was little?
Yeah, like we would be at the store and people would be like, oh, your twins are so cute, you know, because twins, they get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And some people would notice her feet, and but the ones that would be like, what's wrong with her feet? At first, I didn't know how to react, you know, and then it's like after a while of, you know, seeing people staring at her and everything, I started getting angry.
Now, shoes as well. I mean, let's talk about her actual size. What shoe size does she take?
They are a size 15 extra wide in men's.
In men's?
Yes.
And
Which would be a 17 extra wide in women's.
Wow. So, and you've got these shoes. Just tell us what you've got here.
These ones, one of her teachers had made for her when she was in kindergarten. They're kind of like moccasins.
In kindergarten?
Yes. And then these ones were first grade, and like, you know, they're kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And the way she walks, her feet are one of them's larger than the other. It kind of drags a little.
Right.
They get worn down quick.
What about custom shoes?
Her custom shoes, she had gotten a pair of custom-made shoes, and she chose the red and white, and like she was really happy about them shoes. And we went out to the store, and somebody had said, you know, isn't it a little early to have your Halloween costume on? Because they did, how her feet are shaped, they kind of resemble clown shoes.
Now, people think that this is all in the past, but it's still happening now. Just being at the airport to come here, what happened?
Yesterday, we were walking through the airport, and there's this lady, there were these 2 ladies. They were walking like this way, we're walking this way. I looked over to make sure we weren't gonna like bump into each other. And I just happened to see the lady look down at Michaela's feet. And I look over, I see her looking. So then we start walking. I'm just like, and then I hear her burst out laughing. So
Whoa. Did you see red?
Yeah. I turned around and I was like, you think this is funny? You know, I was like, she was born like this. This isn't funny. And Michaela's like, it's okay, Mom. And I'm just like, no, it's not. It's not okay.
Now, she left you a letter, didn't she?
Michaela did, yes.
Yeah, you've got
I've got it.
Yeah.
She says, I don't like getting made fun of by people, even teachers and friends. It's not better to be different from the others. It's better to be normal like the others. You even promised me that you would get a doctor or something so that I could have surgery and have fake feet.
You mean have her feet cut off?
That's what she wants. I'll save as much money as I can and do it myself. I feel embarrassed in front of friends, even my whole family, and I hate it. I want to be like the others. So please, please get my prosthetics. And she says, if you really care about me, you would do that for your daughter.
That still hurts.
Yeah, she just wrote this at the beginning of summer.
Obviously, she's suffering because other kids, she said even friends?
Yeah, some.
Even some friends?
She does have a couple very good friends that are awesome.
Bless them.
Yes.
All right, well, I think it's time to meet your twins. So, Michaela and Madison, come on out, join your mom. So, Michaela, let's talk about what kids say to you at school.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that they say, like Bigfoot and like, oh, look at her feet and stuff.
And how does that make you feel, Madison? Do you hear this?
Makes me feel mad because she didn't do anything to them.
Do you go up and say something to some of these kids sometimes?
Yeah.
Let's talk about what happened on the bus.
One day we were we were sitting on the bus, and there's this guy that we've known for like 3 months, and he just like decided one day to be like really mean, and he called me Bigfoot.
And what did you say anything to him, or do you want to fight back, or? Oh, sweetheart. Do you think, Michaela, oh, sweetheart. Can I come? I know you'd rather have Mummy sit next to you, but we'll sit here so we can talk quietly. Is it hard talking about this stuff?
Yeah.
What do you wish if somebody could grant all your wishes? Do you have a wish?
To be normal and not have big feet.
What do you want to say to those people who call you mean names? Because they're all going to be watching now, so you can kind of talk to all of them in one go.
That I don't like people being mean to me, and I don't like the way they say things to me. And
What would you prefer if they're curious? Would you prefer that they actually come and talk to you and ask you about it rather than just call you names?
yeah.
So you want to say to those people, come up and ask me, and maybe your mum could explain to them or something, but don't call you names and things like that. Would that be better?
Yeah.
You feel your sister's... Oh. Oh, dear. It is this, and people need to see this is how it affects you, huh? So, when we come back, we're going to take a bit of a break. When we come back, we just want to show people... We did a bit of filming with you before, right? And we want to show people what it's like for a day in the life of Michaela. OK, we'll have that when we come back. Stay tuned. We're back talking about the real-life consequences of teenage bullying. And I've got to say ignorance, too. Now, before the break, we met Samantha and her 12-year-old twin daughters, Michaela and Madison. Michaela was born with an extremely rare condition that caused her feet to grow at an accelerated rate. And she currently wears a men's size 15 shoe. Now, as a result, Michaela has been relentlessly tormented, called names and alienated by bullies. So, do you try to hide your feet from people, Michaela?
Yeah, most of the time.
You do? Didn't a boy get expelled from school?
Yeah.
Why?
He's really mean and inappropriate and
Yeah,
stuff.
well, the school she's in now, they don't tolerate bullying.
Right.
And, yeah.
That's great to hear. Now, Michaela wanted everyone to understand what she goes through, so she and her sister Madison graciously allowed our cameras to follow them. So we're going to have a look at that. Michaela may be different, but she wants to be treated like any other kid.
When people look at me and laugh, I feel really embarrassed and feel like I'm gonna cry. People call me names like Bigfoot and frog feet and stuff like that.
Her twin sister Madison was born quote-unquote normal. Her feet are the average size of most 12-year-olds, while her sister Michaela's feet are larger than most adults. Madison is sensitive and protective of her twin.
I may run faster than Michaela, but she can still do most of the things I can do.
Michaela was the first of the twins to crawl and to walk. Nowadays, she can even ride a bike and do handstands.
Some of the things I like to do with my sister is ride our bikes to the park and jump on trampolines.
But it doesn't mean Michaela's life is without challenges.
Shopping for clothes can sometimes be difficult because I can't fit into most skinny jeans. I have to wear shoes like these that are like plain and don't really have any decorations.
As different as Michaela may look, and as big as her feet may be, she is still a little girl who just wants to be accepted for who she is.
I want to have normal feet like other kids.
So, Michaela, what kind of shoes would you like to be able to wear that you can't wear now?
Like a lot of my sister's shoes. Like, she has a lot of cool and pretty ones.
She's never had a pair of dress shoes.
Never?
Never even worn any.
How much does it cost then to have these shoes custom made?
Custom-made shoes are very expensive. They're like $500 or more.
Right, just for one pair?
Yeah.
And is Michaela still growing?
Yeah.
So you spend all of that money and who knows how long they're going to last.
Right.
Well, Michaela and Mom, now we know that, as you said, custom-made shoes are expensive. So we have a bit of a surprise for you. Foot Solutions Incorporated heard about your struggle and they agreed to make you shoes that will not only fit properly, but they're fashionable enough for school. What do you think about that, Michaela?
It's good.
Sounds good? Sounds cool? Let me introduce you to the wonderful gentleman from the organisation, because in our audience is certified, I've got to get this right, podorathist. Did I get that right? Kenneth Silverman with American Comfort Orthotics. Now, let me just tell you, he's made custom shoes for celebrities like basketball star LeBron James and Beyonce. So, yes, there you go. Kenneth, what can you do for Michaela?
Well, right after the show, we're going to take some measurements of your feet, and we're going to take a look at some of your sister's shoes, and we're going to make some things that are going to fit your feet, but are going to be something that you'll be happy to wear. You can pick the colors and the designs, and we'll show you some things that'll look sneakers and shoes that you'll be happy with.
Wow. Can I just say a big thank you to both of you for being so brave, because I know it's really tough when somebody asks you to remember all the horrible things. Oh, hang on. I said both of you. I'm going to include Mum as well. It's really tough to relive all of those things. So I really thank you for doing that, just to highlight what bullying and teasing and all that kind of awful behaviour, what it actually does to people. So thank you very much, girls. And we'll be right back. Talking to kids who say they're tortured by bullies every single day just because of the way they look. With that in mind, meet Christy. Now, she says her 11-year-old daughter, Grace, suffers from a disorder called Cushing syndrome. Grace has struggled with weight gain, hair loss and acne breakouts. But Christy says it's the bullies who've made Grace's life a true living hell. Here's 11-year-old Grace's story.
My name is Grace, and I'm 11 years old, and kids bully me every day. They call me marshmallow, fat, just about everything that you can think of. If they weren't calling me names, they would physically bully me, like pop me with rubber bands. It got to the point to where I didn't want to go outside because they watched and they were always out there. It upsets me the most because it's not my fault. I may have a medical condition called Cushing's syndrome, to where I can't lose weight properly, and I have a lot of acne, and my hair breaks really easily. I don't have many friends. I feel like everyone's against me. If they would look not what I'm like on the outside, what I'm like on the inside, maybe they could see that I'm a good person.
Wow. Painful for a mum to watch. So, Christy, with Grace as a baby, when did you start realising that something was different?
But it wasn't until just a couple of years ago that she actually started, the symptoms to Cushing's actually started coming really.
Tell us about the symptoms. What are they?
Her hair breaks off maybe a couple inches from her scalp. She has put on 47 pounds in a year and a half. Her face is extremely bad, her shoulders. It causes bruising. The same thing as a pregnant woman would have, stretch marks, Australia, diabetes.
But when did kids start teasing her?
The kids lived in the neighborhood would actually walk by her bedroom window and they would scream things in the bedroom window. They would tell her, daytime, nighttime, anytime. They would call her fat ass and Sasquatch and nasty bitch and dumb bitch. And
how does that affect you as a mother?
I'm scared she'll hurt herself at some point in time. I don't want that
Has
for
she
her.
ever said she doesn't want to be around or anything like that?
She's never come down and said she wanted to kill herself, but she said that she wished she could disappear.
But does she have friends? So she's not in school, you took her out of school?
Yeah, we took her out to homeschool her.
And you moved, I understand, completely.
We packed up and moved over the summer.
Just to get away from these bullies, you've actually, what, moved how many miles?
To the neighboring town.
So she's 11 years of age.
Yes.
She's been going through this for years and years and years and years now. She's still with us because Mum's strong, as strong as you can be in the circumstances. I think it's time we meet her. All right, please welcome Grace. Aaron, great. Hi, how are you?
Good.
So tell me about what kids say to you and what they do.
They'll call me Marshmallow. They'll call me everything.
When they call you those names and they just don't stop, what do you want them to know?
I want them to know that inside I am a good person. And that it's not about what's on the outside. It's about what's on the inside.
What do you like doing?
I like school, actually.
You love school and you've had to come out. Now, when you told our producers that you don't have any friends, we wanted to try to change that today. So stay with us and find out who's waiting backstage to meet Grace. Christy and her 11-year-old daughter Grace, who's been mercilessly teased, taunted and tormented by bullies, all because she suffers from a rare condition that causes weight gain. Now, backstage is Latrice, who says she knows exactly what Grace is going through. You see, Latrice grew up with a disorder that caused her to stay small. So please welcome Latrice. Hi, Latrice. Hi. Now, Latrice, before we tell anybody anything about you, I just wanted to go into the audience and get a few people to guess how old you are. Is that okay? Because, yeah, okay, so come on, be brave. When you saw Latrice come out, yes, this young lady here. Yeah, how old would you say Latrice is?
Probably 16.
Okay, anybody else? This lady here.
14, 13.
14 or 13 or 14? Over here, you said?
12, 14, 12.
12 or 14?
12.
So, Latrice, would you like to tell us how old you are?
Actually, I'm 26.
You have an opposite condition. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Basically, what I have is what you call Turner syndrome, which is basically a syndrome that affects the X chromosome, that affects young ladies only. It causes you to be short-statured. Some people actually have heart conditions and kidney conditions. Thankfully, I don't have any of those issues, but I have the issues when it comes to the growth.
What do people say when maybe you walk into a bar or you're driving or something like that?
I get a lot of stares. I get a lot of, little girl, like, where's your mom? Things of that nature. How I can relate to you, little Gracie, is the fact that the name calling. It's a lot of uneducation out there, so a lot of times people will take it and try to, if they don't understand you, if they don't know what's going on, they'll try to make something up and try to attack what they do see within you, because you're a very beautiful young girl. So.
Now, Latrice, so you've actually done something to make a stand against this kind of bullying we've been talking about today.
Yes,
Tell us,
ma'am.
what have you done?
Basically, what I've created was a line of dolls called the Joy Doll. She actually says things, you're beautiful. No matter where you come from, you can be successful. So anything that a child needs to hear on a daily basis to encourage them.
Wow. You have a gift, don't you?
Yes.
For Grace.
Let's see, what do we have for Miss Grace?
I love the way she calls you Little Grace. That's kind of cute.
Here you go. You have your very own. Open it up and show everyone what you have. Yes.
And apparently when you hug the doll, we've got a recording of the kind of message the doll will give. Let's hear that.
You are so beautiful.
Aww. You want to hug the doll?
Oh, yes.
You are so beautiful.
Yeah. Wow. So you're gonna stay? You could even stay in touch. Yeah.
That would be great.
Actually, you and your mom are invited. I don't know if you've ever been to Chicago, Illinois. But you and your mom are invited to the Joy Dowd Beauty and Me pageant where you can make a whole lot of new friends. So you're going to be my special guest there.
There you go. Let me tell people, because they're bound to be curious, for more information about Latrice and her doll, you can visit our website, thetriciashow.com. Now that we've made that happen for Grace and Latrice, I want everyone in the audience to get in on this message. So I want you to reach under your seats and help me out. Hold them up, everyone. Now, if you... Okay, you got them, everyone? If you purchase one of these bullying prevention T-shirts from CustomInc.com in the month of October, you will be supporting their Be Good to Each Other campaign, and all the profits will benefit Pacers Bullying Prevention Center. And there's one more piece of business. Rob, you said you always wanted to see your name in lights, right?
Yeah.
So, here's the real deal. Outside the studio, your name is up in lights. And let me tell you why. That's because you are about to make your national TV debut as a rapper. So, are you ready for this?
Oh, of course.
Of course! So, okay, audience, I want you to put on your T-shirts, get those T-shirts on, and we'll go see Rob perform. Let's go outside. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. Settle down. Now, without further ado, you got to know what's coming up. Something big's coming up. Without further ado, we have Rob here. He's about to perform under your stage name, your alter ego, Robin X, and this is your song called
Heartless.
Heartless. Take it away, Robin X.
How you doing, Stickford? Hello, world. I love you all. Yo. Ain't no love lost, got no heart left. I trust no one, cause that's how God lit. I wonder how Mary felt when he took his last breath. That was her only son and one of the realest left. Now I'm woken, I'm on you haters. They throw me competition, but they don't weigh up. I overcame bullying, fought with the hooligans. Tell them to try again, ain't nothing they can do with me. They better get used to me. Ain't no avoiding me. Created a monster cause they violated the chorus. They losing, I'm winning, and they ain't even finished. Seducing me money and I'm addicted, no love in it. Bye-bye, Jalen. You took my heart and lit. If this how love feels, then you put it on the shelf. So cold how my heart felt. Love ain't nothing left. My friends to my enemies and they ain't even grown yet. The stress.
We'll be right back. Robin X. I want to thank you for watching a really important show, and tune in, watch us again real soon, because this is a great audience. Come and join us. Yeah, come and join us.